Ooh, did you hear that cracking in my neck?
Oh, it's cracked? No.
It's like an alien aboard the ship. I feel like Ripley. Welcome to the Crooked Table Podcast. This is Rob.
This is Freddy.
On this episode, we're going to be talking about some new releases, a high-profile trailer that dropped in the last week, maybe you guys have heard of, and just sort of our reaction to a bunch of different news stories and whatever else we think of. So yeah, it's our show. We do what we want. Deal with it.
So pull up a chair.
Welcome to the table. Oh yeah, we've dropped that line a long time ago. I haven't even been doing that. So pull up a chair. Welcome to the table.
Are we doing that still?
We can, as long as we stick with roll credits. That's the sign-off line. I don't want to just be like, goodbye, it's over.
It's over.
You're still here? Go home. The Deadpool or Ferris Bueller, depending which you're more familiar with.
Yeah.
So, anything new with you other than what stuff we're going to talk about? Any updates on in your world?
No, just school and working out and just watching.
Yeah, I saw you had
watching shows.
I saw you had a smoothie earlier. That's inspiring me to want to go get a smoothie like tomorrow, because there's a tropical cafe smoothie like right by the gym where I work out less often than I should. But they have happy hour 7 to 9, all half price smoothies. So I'm like, shit. Now that I saw you with your smoothie, I'm like, tomorrow morning I need to get up, get my ass out of bed, and try and grab a smoothie.
Well, after my workouts, I like to.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I like to do my 2-hour workout. Then I go, and as a treat, I just have like I just have like 10 ounce
small
smoothie
or whatever.
Yeah.
Do you what kind do you have? A specific one that you always get, or do you just like, let's get that one today?
I go to Smoothie King, so it's no,
I know, obviously.
I go.
It's be different from what I'm saying.
It's I get the Peanut Power Plus. Chocolate.
Oh my God, you and Kai could hang out. That's all she gets is peanut butter and chocolate smoothies. She's
well,
like, can I get the mocha thing and add peanut butter?
Here's the funny thing, because I don't like peanut butter things, and I don't like chocolate things.
Well, but you like them together.
But no. I don't. Because whenever I drink or eat things,
right.
I have it. I get very thirsty, especially if it's a drink.
So
I tend to stay away from them because I'm like, well, this defeats the purpose of drinking something that's making me thirsty.
Right.
So I tend to avoid them. But
just get like a cup of water too. Can I get a smoothie and a cup of water?
Since I only have like half, it's like a meal replacement kind of,
right.
and it gives me protein and all this stuff,
right? Yeah.
And it's not like too much,
right? And if you get the right kind, it is like you said, a meal replacement and like nutrients and protein, and then you can add stuff to it, add the immunity boost or whatever.
I don't add any of this stuff, but because I don't want to mess with the flavor.
Right.
If it's made right, it's not like chewy or anything.
They have one
like you would expect it to be.
They have one at Tropical Cafe that's avocado, that's like avocado and stuff in there. It actually tastes good. You would think it sounds like that's weird.
What's the colada part?
Like pineapple and avocado and all that, like a pina colada, but with avocados.
Different like tropical fruits.
Yeah. And it actually, because avocado is one of the best things you could eat.
Yeah, of course.
All that good cholesterol and all that. Yeah, it's one of those. So that I enjoy that, and of course they have stuff with kale and all that. So I might want to try and get up early tomorrow and work out and get a smoothie, because I like that idea. And plus, it's right next to the Starbucks too.
I had what was it? It was like an almond and kale smoothie one time. Not from Smoothie King, but it was like I think it was like Nutrition Smart or something like that. And they had like a little smoothie part,
section,
little shack area there.
Yeah.
And I think it was like almond,
just
kale,
bought like bottle drinks,
and they had like almond
in a
milk
refrigerated section.
Yeah, it was very. Okay, and they put like almond. I think it was almond butter they put in there too.
Oh wow!
It was very. It was very interesting. It was heavy almond though. You have to like.
Yeah,
almond.
yeah.
Obviously, because it was like almond milk, almond butter.
Well, that's another superfood. What are it's like almond, kale, avocado. It's like basically, if you have all of these every day within small portions, you can't go too crazy, because then anything's bad.
Yeah, exactly.
In excess.
Exactly.
So yeah. So okay, what's the smoothie section of the podcast? See, it's easy for us to get lost. Be like, oh, smoothies or whatever.
No, I bet everyone's gonna get a smoothie.
Yeah, go get a smoothie and
put
drink
that
it while you
soda
listen
down
to
and get a
this.
smoothie.
Yeah, I don't drink sodas at all.
Anymore. The one thing that they need to, and I think they're kind of incorporating it a little bit more, but they need to start in movie theaters now, bringing it back to like
back to the focus.
Our our focus is they need to incorporate healthier menu options.
Yeah, there's pretty much nothing there. If you're a health conscious person, you just be like, I'll get a water.
It's very hard, unless it's like a water. It's or like a soda, and sometimes even then they might be more.
Right.
Then it's very hard to get something over 200 calories.
Yeah.
Or less. I mean, less than 200.
It's very easy to get something over 200 calories.
I got a box of Reese's Pieces, and I never expected
400, 500 calories.
It's for 57 pieces. It's 200 calories.
Yeah. How many pieces are in the little box?
I have no idea, but I think I had the majority of the box.
Yeah, well, that's how I am.
I would assume that there's like, 2 servings in the box.
At least,
so.
yeah, usually.
So
That's how I am
servings.
with Raisinets. That's why I don't get Raisinets, because if even the bag, like the bag that's like this big,
yeah,
I will get that and that'll be gone in a sitting. So a lot of times
exactly.
I used to do that. I'm like,
they need to incorporate healthier like.
Well, and the funny thing is, because when I used to work at the movie theater back in the day, you would get these people that would be like, I'm gonna get a small Diet Coke, and they think that's healthy, and then they'll get a jumbo popcorn with all the butter, and then it somehow feels like that. They feel like that's balancing out, and I would always be like, really? Small Diet Coke, giant bucket of, the big buckets of popcorn. I'm like, something, you're not doing anything right by having a small Diet Coke. It's not a magical elixir.
There's a stigma that Diet Coke is good for you.
I don't know how, because of the name.
It's not, diet. It's...
Diet Coke, regular Coke, and this is not, obviously Coke's not endorsing this podcast. Coke, Diet Coke, Coke Zero, these are all, none of them are good for you. I mean, even, only one the one that I like probably best of those three is Coke Zero, which I don't really drink anymore. But Coca-Cola Life, have you ever had that?
No.
The little bottle, they're like bottles like this. They're like smaller size, and they have the green label, and they're actually made with real sugar and that kind of thing. So I'm like, all right, it's still not good for you because it's carbonated and whatever, but at least it's real sugar. It's not high fructose corn syrup and that kind of thing.
But see, like big, especially drinks and stuff, they love to add... the conglomerates, like the soda people especially, they like to add like adjectives, like healthy adjectives in front in order to like
low whatever,
Coke Zero, like zero
calories,
and diet, and even like value size. Value. Light? There's something nice to like. Oh, value! I'm getting.
Is it Pepsi? Or one of them's like Pepsi Light or something like that. Isn't that a thing?
Yeah, there's lights too.
Yeah, that's another one.
There's like Light Dr. Pepper,
and they do that.
People,
beer manufacturers do that too. They're like Bud Light. It's better for me because it's light. I'm like, it's not much different.
Don't quote me on the light though, because
I think there is.
I checked. And I did get the John Oliver thing wrong. It was Jon Stewart that he was with. Remember, I was like, I think it's Stephen Colbert.
So we should add a corrections segment to the podcast. It's like, some corrections from last week's episode.
I mean, we're just spitballing here.
Yeah. This is all off the cuff. That's part of our charm. We just talk off the stream of consciousness.
Yeah. So I was like, oh man, I got it wrong. I'm like an idiot. So but they like to add like adjectives to make themselves like to make it look better than it actually is.
That's how marketing works. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, but I that bothers me too. It's not even in the movies. It's like in the stores.
Yeah,
they'll buy like 50 pounds of like soda, and then they'll have like a bundle of bananas or something like that, and they'll be like, I'm healthier now because I got this bundle of bananas.
Balance it out. Yeah.
It'll balance it out somehow.
I don't understand that.
Even like they do have smoothies in the movie theaters.
Do they? Which one? AMC's? Regal?
I think AMC has smoothies, but they're not good smoothies.
They're crap smoothies.
Yeah. Like probably out of like a bag, like a margarita
some
mix,
kind of
but
a
no
mix
alcohol.
thing. Yeah, just pour it in there and stir.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, there you go.
It's heavy on the sugar. There's no real value. See, here's the fucked up thing about it. They add alcohol to the AMC theater.
Oh, they have a bar there, yeah.
They have a bar before they have a healthy options.
Well, but this is come on. That's the way our culture works. It's like alcohol is some Starbucks are. This is my second Starbucks mention today. I must need some coffee or something. Some Starbucks are adding, alcohol to their menus. Like I think, they're testing it in certain markets.
Like the North or something?
I guess, yeah. Of their beer and wine, I think they're starting with. So you might be able to order a glass of wine in Starbucks.
We're in Florida.
Yeah, obviously.
And I know in Orlando.
Really?
They have it.
At a Starbucks?
At the Starbucks.
Which one?
Now that I mention it, they serve wine and stuff there.
Which Starbucks?
The one that's in downtown Disney.
Oh, okay. Wow.
There's one... like when you're like the Harley, there's like a Harley Davidson shop.
Okay.
And then there's like a shop that they keep like changing. Now it's like a Star Wars thing because there's a big like hoopla about Star Wars, so it's like Star Wars everything. It's like Star Wars Post or something.
Holy crap! I need to go there.
And then right across, I almost bought you something like from there, but it was all like ridiculously priced.
Yeah,
usually Disney.
Yeah, that's how they get you.
That's all you have to say. Everything from Disney is ridiculously priced.
There's so many. I have my Amazon wishlist is pretty much like 80 DVDs, and a lot of them are Disney stuff because I'm like, I'll keep an eye on this when this goes on sale. Yeah, and that never goes on sale.
Never goes on sale.
It's always like $25 for this Blu-ray.
I do that with the Marvels. Again, Disney. Yeah, and the Marvels rarely ever go on sale unless it's like. Like Fox or something.
Right.
And it's like, okay.
Sometimes the Marvel ones are not quite as bad, but if it has the name Walt Disney, blah, 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 like, I want to get it out on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
But I recently got it on DVD finally, because I was like, I don't know when the Blu-ray's coming, I'm just going to get it on DVD. And now the Bluray, and then the Blu-ray came out. I was like, son of a bitch!
Most of the time when I see, like, a sale on Disney, because it's very rare, I just...
Jump on it?
I spontaneous buy.
Yeah.
I just go,
that's actually fitting, because we're going to talk about Zootopia in a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
So, because, I don't have Wreck-It Ralph or Big Hero 6 or any of those yet. I have Frozen. That's about it.
For the
newer ones. Of the newer,
But the Renaissance.
I call this the second Disney Renaissance.
I watched, he has on YouTube, he has a host of videos that he has put up. We talked about this on the last podcast.
Right.
Where he talked about the nominees for Best Picture, and he did a Zootopia review. And so I watched the beginning because I didn't want to ruin anything because I haven't seen it yet.
Right. I don't get into too much spoilers. I go into themes and that kind of thing, but I don't be like, this is how it ends. Brace yourself.
Yeah, you just started putting videos on there, so it's like
couple.
It's hard to get those numbers climbing because first you gotta get recognized. Then once you get recognized, then the video.
I also need to trick out the YouTube page as far as SEO and that kind of thing. I've done a little of that, but I'm trying to fine tune it.
Yeah, there's always a learning curve. With anything that you do.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyways, that's where I looked and
I'd say that,
and we've talked about in a previous podcast about like the Disney, the history of animation.
We had a whole. We talked about, is that, episode 2 or 3 or something? The animation dissertation. You can find it on iTunes.
It was very, very
lengthy.
It was very lengthy, and I did a lot of. That was one of the ones I did like a lot of research.
I remember you were like teaching a class on it, basically.
Yeah. But anyways, go on about your.
You were gonna say in the video. You were gonna say in the video, I make reference to the Disney Renaissance, which is the period that basically encompasses The Little Mermaid through Tarzan. Because actually, Disney was sort of suffering in the late '80s. They were putting out a string of movies that were underperforming, and then Little Mermaid came through and basically single-handedly saved the studio. Soon after that, you had Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, Lion King, and that string of films all the way up till Tarzan was sort of the end of that. Then it started to dip back down again.
Yeah, with the sequels and stuff.
Well, then they were relying a lot more on sequels. They had stuff like Atlantis and Brother Bear and Home on the Range that weren't really making much of an impact. Treasure Planet's another one, yeah. But my theory is that Tangled was sort of the beginning of a second Disney Renaissance because that movie
after Pixar.
Well, yeah.
It was kind of like Pixar inspired.
I'm talking about a little bit as far as the CG and stuff.
No, I mean, but like Pixar got them started with Bug's Life?
Toy Story was first.
Toy Story. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, Toy Story or Bug's Life? It's Toy Story, and then they did like so good. So they were like, okay, you keep doing your thing. We got to step up our game as Disney.
Well, what happened is that that's how they were actually contracted with Pixar for like a certain number of films or a certain number of years, and then in 2006, when that contract ended, Disney could have lost Pixar to DreamWorks or someone else, but they actually purchased Pixar, and they made John Lasseter, who was a head of Pixar, they made him head of all Disney animation.
Oh, so they're a freestanding company, Pixar.
They were just their own independent animation production house, and then they merged with Disney. Disney
did they do Toy
them.
Story under Disney?
Yeah, I mean they it was
with
in
the
a
help
contract,
of Disney.
and Disney distributed it and that kind of thing.
Okay,
but they weren't actually officially part of like Disney until 2006. And then John Lasseter, when he was put into the head of Disney Animation, I think that's probably when like the films that he started to develop were probably like Tangled and thereafter. Because before that they had Meet the Robinsons, Bolt, Princess and the Frog, and those all did okay. They did well, but Tangled was the one where it seemed like it was going back to fairy tales in a big way, back to musicals. I think Alan Menken actually did the score to that, and he did Little Mermaid and Aladdin and all of those.
Yeah.
And I heard a lot more of people talking about it and kind of a momentum building on the Walt Disney Animation Studios side of things, not just Pixar. And that's since then they put out Wreck-It Ralph and Frozen and Big Hero 6 and now Zootopia. So they really sort of build momentum. Zootopia is probably in my opinion, probably the best of those newer ones
really?
So far. I liked Big Hero 6, but I didn't like it nearly as much as you did. We had that conversation in the previous episode. Yeah. But Zootopia is it's a lot deeper than people are giving it credit for, because you see the commercials and you think, oh, it's cute animals. That should be good to take the kids to. And yeah, it is. It does have cute animals and it's funny and stuff, but there's a lot of satirical elements going on, and there's a much deeper message. Actually touches on a lot of real world themes and like really creative and innovative ways. It deals a lot with actually prejudice, racial profiling, that kind of shit. And
it's stuff that goes like over the heads of kids.
Over the heads of kids, but as an adult, you'd be watching, be like, holy shit, Disney's getting it real. Like there's a YouTube channel I watch called Black Nerd Comedy, and he does, he does movie reviews and talk about, trailers and that kind of stuff.
Save that for your encore segment.
No, I'll have another one I can talk about. And then he was saying about how amazing it is that Disney, in an animated film about, and actually I think I even mentioned this in my review, my video review, which I believe I posted before I saw his. They were tackling these themes that like other movies and other shows are like afraid to go near, and Disney's like, what we're gonna do it under the guise of cute little animals and this like imaginative fantastical world. We're gonna be like, we're gonna get the all right in there and throw it right in your face. And because there's some pivotal scenes, especially the second half of the movie, where you're like, holy shit, this shit just got real. This is not like it has a lot more depth to it than something like Big Hero 6 or Frozen, that kind of stuff.
Oh, okay. Something lighthearted.
Yeah,
this one has a little bit of it
has more of a message,
a
and
darker undertone.
Yeah, which makes it more relatable and more emotionally impactful.
Oh, okay.
So, I think it might be the movie to beat already for Best Animated Feature. Actually, I was just thinking about this earlier today. If Finding Dory doesn't deliver, we might be living in a time where Walt Disney Animation Studios is producing more consistent, excellent quality films than Pixar. Because I was not a huge fan of The Good Dinosaur. And Inside Out was great. But then before that, you had like Monsters University and Cars 2 and all that. And I was like, I don't care about this.
Yeah, I liked Good Dinosaur, but I can understand though what it's not one of their better films.
No,
by far.
No, not by any stretch of the
and
imagination.
it's just
it looks
a
great.
fun
it
movie.
Looks cool.
Yeah, it looks cool. It's a fun movie to go take your kids and everything, but is it Toy Story level?
Right.
No.
It doesn't.
No, nowhere near.
There's nothing deeper there with that
exactly.
movie. Inside Out is the kind of movie where parents will bring their kids, and the parents will be. I know you have different feelings about Inside Out, but in general, and then the parents will be crying, and the kids are like, "What the fuck's wrong with you, Dad, Mom?" I'm like, "It's a great movie." That's the kind of movie that will resonate more with adults than kids, and Zootopia fits that description too.
Oh, okay.
So definitely highly recommended. And not that people need me to point it out to them, because it made a shit ton of money this weekend. I think 73 million, which is the new record for a non-Pixar animated film. Like, it just surpassed Frozen's opening weekend.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
so,
wow.
So that's a big deal.
They're doing a Frozen 2, right?
That's what I've heard. There's not been a release date announced or anything yet, I don't think.
Because I heard Josh Gad talking about it.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah, they're not making too many sequels, which is good, because back in the day, in the first Disney Renaissance, they didn't... Well, I mean, they made sequels, but they made them straight to video. They didn't do, like, big theatrical release. I'm sure Frozen will be a big theatrical release, but... I mean, if they're going to make an exception to that, I guess a Frozen sequel makes the most sense from a business standpoint, since it made so much money and it was such a phenomenon.
The kids want it,
Exactly.
It might not be anywhere near Frozen, the first one.
Well, they did a short film too. Did you see that? Frozen Fever?
No, I didn't see that one.
What was that attached to? Not Big Hero 6. Something else. It was attached to one of the Disney movies. I just don't remember.
Who was in it? Which characters?
Most of the characters.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't even an original song and everything on it. I just can't remember which movie it was attached to. Not
like on the DVD?
No, it was in theaters too.
Oh, man.
I don't remember what it was.
I must not have seen it because I don't.
Yeah, I'll have to look into that now.
I don't remember seeing it.
But yeah, so it's a good time for Disney between Pixar, Star Wars, Marvel. And now that they actually announced the Big Hero 6 television series. I don't know if we talked about that last time. I don't think it had happened yet.
Oh, no, you haven't mentioned that yet.
Yeah, so that's going to be premiering in Disney XD next year.
Oh, okay.
So, and that makes sense, because when we saw Big Hero 6, I think we were both like, well, they need, there you go. That's another franchise, guys.
Yeah.
We need more of these. That was essentially an origin story for that team, and everybody loves those characters, especially Baymax.
Imagine all the people that Disney has hired.
That's everybody, pretty much.
But like, it's ridiculous though, like how vast their company is.
Oh yeah,
theme parks.
And they keep
multiple production companies.
They keep acquiring more stuff. They keep bringing on new divisions.
It's become almost it probably is an empire of its own now.
Oh yeah, it is
bigger than, of course, DreamWorks or anything else out there. It's by far. What other one could say that I have this many studios under me?
Look at the highest grossing movies of the last
many profitable
10 years. Most of them are
this
Disney.
Many profitable studios, and have a major park. Universal's the only one, but Universal doesn't have that many studios that make that much of a profit.
Right. Well, Universal has. I mean, Universal had a record-breaking year last year as far as the box office is concerned.
Yeah.
But like, to your point, they were all released under Universal Studios. There wasn't like, Disney is Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Lucasfilm, blah 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 blah, and like Disney owns so much shit they don't even put the name Disney on it, because they're just like, nope, that's got its own thing. We'll make the money from it. Yeah,
exactly.
Because they don't. It's not even an issue for them branding anymore.
Yeah.
Which is kind of insane, but. And my whole thing is, as long as they're doing right by those properties, because obviously I love Star Wars and Muppets and all that stuff, which is again also Disney owned.
Yeah.
And they seem to be doing right by most of them. I haven't really seen a terrible Marvel movie yet, even like Thor: The Dark World and things like that are less good.
Yeah, I heard. This is not Disney, but we were talking about Marvel and stuff.
Yeah.
I heard that. I heard that Batman v Superman was like, what, 3 hours long originally?
2.5 hours. I think the final cut is 2.5 hours.
Well, they said, one of my friends told me, and he reads a lot of this stuff,
right?
That it was 3 hours long originally. They cut it down to 2.5 hours, and now they're thinking that there's speculation they might be cutting it down again.
Oh, I hope not.
Is that true?
I haven't heard about them cutting it down again, but if it would make sense if it was close to 3 hours and then they cut down to 2.5. Because they're going to release that R-rated cut. I mean, I could easily see 10, 15, 20 minutes of extra footage. Because remember, it's directed by Zack Snyder. And the theatrical cut of Watchmen is 2 hours and like 45 minutes. The ultimate whatever cut, the one that I have that has all the director's cut footage back in, like the deleted scenes back in. And the animated sequence, the Tales of the Black Freighter, interspersed throughout that one's like 3.5 hours.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The full length, like, this is everything we got version of Watchmen, which is the one I like, because it adapts pretty much every element of the comic book.
Okay.
So I wouldn't be surprised if we get a Blu-ray, director's cut or whatever of that movie. That's 3 hours.
I would definitely buy it.
Oh, I'm gonna buy. I might wait.
I wish they wouldn't have cut it down. I would love to go and spend 3 hours and watch.
And it makes me a lot less worried about the amount of stuff that movie has to cover. Because if you have 2.5, 3 hours to cover it all, that's a lot easier than being like 90 minutes. Let's get it done.
Yeah, exactly.
Because look, for example, I mean. X-Men: The Last Stand, which nobody considers a good movie anyway, really. No. It's sort of a guilty pleasure for me. I like parts of it, elements of it are good.
The action sequences I like.
Yeah.
Some of the action sequences between the mutants.
Some of the characters and stuff are cool, moments here and there.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it doesn't work as a movie. Exactly. But that movie is like 100 minutes long, but it takes on enough story to take up like 2.5, 3 hours. That's part of why that movie is a mess. It's because is a mess is because they're like, we're going to take these two ginormous storylines and we're going to compress them into a short fucking movie. Deadpool was 100 minutes, but that makes sense for Deadpool because Deadpool's like, this one guy wants to kill this other guy. You don't need 2.5 hours to tell that story.
There's not a lot
overdrawn.
There's not a lot of story there.
Right.
But they're adding what is it? Darkseid or Doomsday? Doomsday. They're adding Doomsday at
possibly
the end
Darkseid too. There's been
Darkseid.
There's been images of Batman like standing in this desert that it has like the Darkseid's symbol on the sand, that kind of thing. So
they could be
they're
like
planting
hinting,
a seed for that, probably for Justice League.
Yeah, probably.
Or maybe in a post-credit scene we'll get something else. I'm sure they'll have like 600 post-credit scenes in this one. Because Marvel set the tone, so now if they don't, people are going to be like, what the fuck? I waited for
600 posts?
Well, I'm exaggerating. They'll
probably have one in the beginning, one in the middle, one at the end.
Yeah, just nothing but post-credit scenes during the credits.
They're going to put a credit scene, and it's just going to be the whole post-credit scene while the credits are going over it.
That freaking Iron Man ruined it for all the superhero movies. Now audiences expect something there. They'll wait 15 minutes of credits to see something, and if they don't see something, they're going to be like, what the fuck? And they'll like blast the movie on Twitter or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, but I guess that's a good. So anyway, Zootopia. Back to that for a second.
It's like a continuation, though. It's like when you go see an episode of The Walking Dead and you're like on the edge of your seat,
right?
And then you like want to know what happens next, so you see the preview of the next episode.
Right.
And you're
Yeah, pretty much.
I have that to look forward to.
Like last night's Gotham, of course, they always have the little next week, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah,
it's but I say Walking Dead because that's
I know
that's the one I look forward to the most.
I know. Did you hear the thing about Johnny Depp's head? I guess was in the episode. Like I guess somewhere in the background there was like a mold of a head that was based on Johnny Depp.
Oh really?
Yeah, look it up. I don't watch Walking Dead, so I just see headlines and I'm like, huh, and then I move on in my Facebook feed. I'm like, okay.
No, I didn't see anything.
But yeah, to wrap up the Zootopia thing, highly recommend it. I gave it 4.5 out of 5.
Oh, okay.
As of right now, it's my favorite movie of the year, with Deadpool as like a close second. So we'll see. It might. I mean, that's probably not going to stay in number one for very long because 10 Cloverfield Lane's coming out Friday. I'm going to go see that and put a video review will be up for that. Next week is a bunch of other movies I want to see. Midnight Special from director Jeff Nichols. That looks interesting. And then the week after that, Batman v Superman. So there's a lot of stuff coming down the pipe. So we'll see that. It shouldn't be number one very long, but check it out while you can before all the movies start rolling in. So you should do the same. What about you? What did you see?
I saw London Has Fallen, sequel to Olympus Has Fallen.
That makes sense, because last episode you were like, well, I'm going to go see London Has Fallen. You and your fucking Zootopia. I was like, hey.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know. I forgot the Zootopia trailer and everything. Right. I forgot what it was about. I forgot everything about it. So I was like, oh, Zootopia. Well, I'll red box it.
Yeah.
But I forgot the trailer, and now when, in your YouTube video, when you showed the sloth guy, then I remembered, that's the trailer when he takes forever to say
DMV,
stuff, the DMV. That makes sense. They're like police officers or something.
She's a police officer. The bunny is a police officer, yeah.
So I saw London Has Fallen instead.
Okay, how was that?
It was entertaining.
Okay.
And it had its good parts. The screenplay wasn't the best.
Well, I mean, that's not much of a surprise, but continue.
The screenplay of the first one was a lot better than this one. Okay. Just like some of the acting and the dialogue and just the way it was written, it was very it felt like they only did one draft. You know what I mean?
They're like, that's good enough. Insert action scene here. Gerard Butler says something badass. Shoot some guns. Here you go.
Especially like the first 30 minutes of the movie. It's not until they actually get to London where it's actually good.
Wait, so there's a whole third of the movie where they're not even in London?
I don't know. I didn't time it, but
whatever.
I'm assuming that by this,
Act 2 starts.
Act 2 starts. They'll be in London. Shit goes down. But by the time they were in London, then it started getting really good. But in the beginning, it kind of okay, it's okay.
Get
but
to the
it's
point.
Get to the stuff because you're losing me here, kind of.
Right.
And then once it really got on there, then I was like, okay.
So from an action standpoint, did it deliver as far as the action sequences and that kind of thing, or was it? Because the general consensus that I've heard is that it's all right. It's there. It's
all right.
It would be.
I don't know if it's as good as the first one.
Right.
Just because he's basically taking the president all over London to protect him.
Right.
And in this one, it's kind of the first one, it's like a Die Hard situation in the White House. But
this is just in London. It's a bigger scale. It's not inside a building.
It's a bigger scale. I don't know. It's just something about the simplicity of the first one that made it that much enjoyable.
So it does sound to me the first one is Die Hard, the first Die Hard. It's this one guy in a building.
And the second one is Die Hard 2.
Or no, then the second one's Die Hard with a Vengeance, because it sounds like it's Aaron Eckhart and Gerard Butler sort of running around the city trying to, facing crazy shit and stuff like that. Where Die Hard with a Vengeance was Bruce Willis, but this time with Samuel L. Jackson running around the streets of New York and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's a similar kind of format.
It's entertaining. It's good, but it's not. I don't think it's as good as the first one.
Okay.
And that's just my. There were some cool. There were cool action sequence moments, of course, without ruining anything.
Right.
But
I would assume shootouts, car chases, explosions,
the standard action sequence things, and you go and you get what you pay for.
Pretty much. Action, so, but it sounds like it's very sort of standard action sequel fare.
Basically. Don't expect anything more than just a regular action movie.
Right.
Don't expect like those action movies that actually have depth to them.
Right.
Which
it's a
rarity. It's a rarity.
Yeah, there hasn't been one in a while. I can't even think of one right off the top of my head.
I like John Wick.
Oh, John Wick, yeah. But you hadn't seen that until I showed it to you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, see?
Exactly.
Ah! John Wick
really
2
good.
comes out January.
I hope it's good. That's another one I'm looking forward to.
Same filmmakers attached. And,
okay, so
and all the people that survived the first one, the guy at the concierge at the desk in the hotel.
Yeah, I was reading it on IMDb.
Yeah, Lawrence Fishburne's going to be in this one too. So everybody from the first one that's coming back.
Everyone from the first one that didn't die in Olympus was in this one too.
Oh, okay, good.
But it's different, and it's just not as good as the first one.
Did they set it up for a third one, or?
Of course.
Okay, is it going to be now? See, if I was doing it, if you're making a ridiculous action movie, you need to embrace the ridiculousness. This is the issue that I have sometimes with the Expendables movies, because they're ridiculous, but if they try and play it serious, this is heavy thing we got to do, we have to bear the burden, blah blah blah. I'm like, okay, but you guys are just a bunch of crazy action stars doing your thing. So why don't you just let it be ridiculous? So if I was doing the third one, I'd at the end of London Has Fallen have fucking spaceships land and be like, boom, Earth has fallen, coming soon, or some shit. That would be epic. That I would watch. That would make me want to go see it.
It'd be Independence
London streets,
Day.
Whatever. Yeah, I would watch that. Cross it over. Independence Day.
Has Fallen. I mean, that would be
awesome. Just take it there.
I would see it.
You never saw Machete Kills, right?
That's the sequel?
Yeah, the second one.
I haven't seen it.
Well, the first one is just Machete, whatever. And then by the end of the second one starts like the first one, in Mexico, whatever. And then by the end of the second one, they're in fucking space and shit. I shit you now. No, I shit you not. And then the trailer for the third one, they show it at the beginning of the second one, and it's Machete kills again in space. And he's got a machete that's made of laser, like a lightsaber and shit. It's fucking crazy. So that's where they need to go with some of these action franchises. It'd just be
See, the thing is that you have to set that tone from the first one, though. The first one was very serious. It was very
It was
sad.
Kind of, well, I mean, that lady, I don't remember if it was a congresswoman or a secretary of state. She was like dragged by her hair across the thing. I was
exactly.
like, holy fuck, this is deep.
Exactly.
Not deep, but this is like heavy. Like this is like gritty to the point that it's a borderline disturbing in moments.
Yeah, and the second one had points like that, but it was nowhere near as, it didn't have as good of dialogue as the first one. And I'm just repeating myself.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean.
The first one was also directed by Antoine Fuqua, and he's done a lot of really good movies. He did Training Day and things like that. He did The Equalizer, which you haven't seen that actually. You need to see that.
So he didn't do the second one.
He didn't do the second one, but he did the first. So it's the direction is also part of it too. It's like how it's presented is actually a lot more stylish in the first one, or it's just like some other dude.
I still recommend people to go see it.
Right. But I'd recommend people to spend the $10-15 to go see it, or
matinee it.
Matinee or Redbox or dollar if you find a discount theater.
Yeah, I would matinee it.
Okay.
Because you'll be entertained, just not the first 30 minutes.
Yeah. That's sort of how I felt like that a little bit about the Taken sequels actually.
Yeah.
Like I love the first one, and the second one's like
they took like the route of like how it normally, like he's trying to like get out of the game of being in the Secret Service.
He's like, I'm too old for this shit.
Because he's having a baby.
Oh, okay.
This is not really that much of a spoiler.
Did he have a lady in the first one? I don't even remember.
He had a lady in the first one. She was just in the hospital doing her nursing stuff.
Oh, okay.
But he has like a kid on the way, and he goes to London, and I guess she has the baby while he's gone, and comes back. The whole time he's like thinking about resigning from the Secret Service, and then he has like the letter, and then it like he goes to like get out of it, and it says delete or say or send or something like that,
and that's when the explosion happens. He's like, oh shit,
delete,
save to later,
delete or save save this draft,
which is,
and he goes delete. And that's like their sign, like, oh, there's gonna be a third one, kind of.
Oh, got it.
You know what I mean? That's like the
setting you up, like, oh snap.
But it's like the typical game. That's the typical thing that they do.
Yeah.
In those movies. So
okay, so interesting, worth seeing, but not like a glowing recommendation from you.
It's not like
it's like stop what you're doing, stop this podcast and go watch the fucking movie.
Yeah. It's not like that, but it's also not like the action sequences aren't good and you're not going to be entertained.
Well, if you're looking for action movies right now, I mean, there's not, like I said, there's not a whole lot right now out. So if you're in an action movie,
unless you go see Deadpool.
Well, I mean, everybody's seeing that now. Go see Deadpool again, I guess.
See Deadpool again.
It's doing just fine, but if you really want to, then go for it. Yeah, I haven't even gotten a chance to go see that a second time. I've been thinking about it, but I'm like, where's Zootopia? Because Kai wanted to see Zootopia anyway, so I was like, that works.
If I go see another movie, I'll probably see Zootopia now.
Because I'd like to know what you think.
I realized that it's funny
too.
Movie.
That's the thing. It's got deeper meaning, but it's also really funny, and there's a lot of laugh out loud moments. And Jason Bateman is the voice of the fox that you see in the commercials.
Oh, okay.
So definitely check that out. What else? We wanted to talk about Ghostbusters trailer.
Yes.
That divided the world in two. Half of the people, okay, maybe less than half of the people were like, that looks okay. I'm still hopeful. And then more people were like, what the fuck?
It's ruining the franchise.
So where did you land on that? Sort of in the middle, or like?
I think I was. Here's the thing, and I talked about this with my friend.
Well, what's your background with Ghostbusters, first of all, too? Because you're young. You're younger than me, obviously, by a significant margin. So do you have that same connection to Ghostbusters that people that are in their 30s would have?
I didn't grow up with the cartoon,
right?
So that's
the movies then.
That's a big the movies.
Those movies, even though they're
the
like
movies, and I played with the toys.
Yeah,
and
but those are movies like Star Wars or like Back to the Future that even though it came out before you were born, you're like, I still grew up with it because I'm a person and I live in the world, and that's something you watch.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So, but I didn't watch the cartoon like you did, so I didn't. I don't have like that same level of like. Like
oh my god,
like clinging
Slimer!
to it, like you're destroying your childhood.
So you probably don't give a shit about Slimer then?
No, I do.
Slimer's
so cute,
but he's in the first movie.
He's
in the first movie for like 2 minutes. But the reason that like people my age love Slimer because Slimer was like he was a main character on the cartoon.
I mean,
he was one of the Ghostbusters.
I've seen parts of the cartoon,
right?
But I mean, I didn't watch it like you watched it, like all the time.
Yeah, that was my jam.
I've watched like a little bit of it, just like I watched, just like I watched Darkwing Duck,
Ninja Turtles,
or Ninja Turtles, or Chippendales or DuckTales. Or all this,
they're bringing DuckTales back for a reboot next year,
or Alvin the Chipmunks and all this stuff. Just like I watched those, I watched this one, but I didn't watch like every single episode.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I was a lot younger when I was watching it, and it's not like I didn't enjoy it. Still, I still found it very, and very awesome and entertaining.
But you still preferred Barney and Friends, basically, is what you're saying.
No, I don't think I was that young. I wasn't that young. I wasn't like Lamb Chop, Barney, and Sesame Street young.
Gullah Gullah Island?
I was maybe Gullah Gullah Island young.
Oh, that's the next level. You graduated from Lamb Chop and Friends to Gullah Gullah Island. That was
it was like
Eureka's Castle.
It was like Barney.
Eureka's Castle was more.
It was like Lamb Chop and then Barney or whatever. Then it was like Gullah Gullah Island, and the shows that you watched.
Yeah, my phases I had Ninja Turtle, Masters of the Universe, Ninja Turtles, Power Rangers, and then after that was when I really turned into a movie person. Like my 13, 14 around there, I was like, movies now, that's my thing.
I watched Power Rangers too. And then of course, down the line, it went to like Hey Arnold, Jimmy Neutron.
Right. Which they're all looking into bringing most of those back now. Like in a Nicktoons movie. Or they're doing a Hey Arnold television event thing.
Yeah.
That's kind of interesting. So anyway, we're way off track now. Ghostbusters.
Yes, Ghostbusters. So I was kind of in the middle because here's the thing. You look at the trailer.
Uh-huh.
And it's a god-awful trailer.
It's the question is, is it that the movie is bad, or is it that this person really made a shitty trailer?
No, but here's the thing. The parts of a trailer are always, normally, the best parts of the movie.
Nah, sometimes.
Objectively speaking, the majority of the time, they are the best parts of the movie. So if these are the best parts of the movie, then
we're in bad shape.
Then there's going to be a lot of suicides in the theater. My childhood.
No, I'm going to be a ghost now too.
I like that they showed Slimer for a brief second.
Yeah.
That means that like he's still around, but I don't know.
What do you mean still around? See, that's the question.
See, because I like to assume because they were saying about bringing the Ghost program back. So I assumed...
They didn't say that in the trailer about bringing the Ghost program back?
Yeah, they said there was an old Ghost program and we gotta bring it back.
I don't remember that line.
Because I thought I heard that line.
Well, the marketing, like in the beginning of the trailer, they're like, 30 years ago, 4 scientists saved New York. But now, a new team was being assembled. And that presents it as... This takes place as
30 years later.
Within the same continuity.
Yeah.
But I didn't see anything in the actual trailer to make me think that was the case. And everything I've read online is like, this is a reboot. Which makes me think that they're pretending like those other movies never happened.
Yeah, but people
which is really fucking stupid, if you ask me. It's like, you don't... That would be like them making Star Wars Force Awakens and then be like, yep, none of this stuff happened. There's no Skywalkers. Be like...
Or like Jurassic Park.
Yeah. Jurassic World was smart because they're like, yeah, that stuff happened. Like, they even have the fucking new girl guy. Yeah. They even have the new girl guy, and they'd be like, oh, that first park was legit.
Yeah.
Saying, basically telling audiences, like, that you should go watch the first movie. It's better than this one. Essentially. It's like, you can't just pretend it didn't happen. With something as big as Ghostbusters, I mean, you can, but you're going to risk pissing off a lot of people.
Yeah, exactly. I think it still happened because a lot of people online... try and make it seem like, either by what they perceived the trailer to be, or by what they think the thing is, what they think the movie is going to be, and they just say, oh, it's going to be this way just because. I don't know. It made it seem like they were dusting off the program.
So you think it's going to
restarting it.
So you think there's going to be very, very subtle references to, back in the 30 years ago, there was this thing that happened. We should do it now.
Yeah, well, I mean, why mention it then?
Well, I mentioned the trailer to get to sell it to people, to be like, oh, snap, it's this.
I mean, they know Ghostbusters.
I know, but to sell it to make people think that it is an update and not necessarily a clean reboot. I mean, unless we have most of the cast of the original movies are making cameos, but as far as we know, not in their original characters at all. Just like randomly showing them, like, hey, there's Bill Murray, hey, there's Annie Potts, and hey, there's whatever.
Regardless of that, even if with it not being, whether it being a reboot or not,
although we clearly obviously hope it is.
Yeah.
Like, not a reboot.
Not a reboot.
Like, referencing that, even like...
An updated version.
Like a Jurassic World attempt to this, yeah.
Yes.
Or Creed.
Yes. The trailer was very, like... It didn't really make me laugh.
No.
There were some tiffs.
Oh, God, the tiffs again. I remember you...
There were some tiffs. Yeah. But there were no, like... You know, like moments that made me like, this is gonna be a great movie. I'm so excited for this
most
movie
of the
now.
jokes fell flat.
Exactly. It has nothing to do with them being women.
I was gonna say that actually.
I wanted
to make sure people aren't listening to two guys be like, these guys just hate women. It's like, and we're recording this on International Women's Day. Actually, happy International Women's Day, everybody. Yeah. Oh, really? Facebook tells me all these things. I wouldn't know otherwise.
I never go on Facebook.
Well, yesterday was National Cereal Day, so I was like, Kai, let's have some cereal. Clink.
To celebrate cereal day.
Well, we had just bought cereal for the first time in a while. Stupid. Well, I know there's a national,
so made up that day.
There's like a national day for everything. But yeah, and I wanted to make sure that people don't hear two guys be like, "You hate women." It's like nothing to do with the fact that they're women. I'm a big fan.
Tomorrow's National Oreo Day.
I'm a big fan of Kristen Wiig. I'm becoming a bigger fan of Melissa McCarthy because I did like Spy actually a lot more than I thought I would. Same with The Heat. And I don't really know much about the other two ladies. I know they're on SNL, but I don't really watch SNL anymore. I haven't watched it in regularly in years.
Yeah, I see occasionally things on YouTube, but you know it's.
You don't have much of a point of reference either, right?
I know
who they are.
In my opinion,
that's about
I don't think the new SNL is anywhere near as good as the old.
It has
SNL,
its moments, and lately they're doing better because it's all political stuff. SNL has always been really on point with political humor.
Yeah, that's true.
And their presidential spoofs and all that stuff.
Especially
now you got
Field Day with Trump.
I heard that they did a racists for Trump, like fake infomercial.
Yeah,
I haven't watched it yet. I heard about it. And I'm like, oh shit, I got to see that.
It's like, we support Trump because he's going to make this economy great. He's going to make this economy go from here to here. And when he lifts his arm, he has like a swastika thing around, the Nazi bands around his arm.
Oh my God.
And then the woman's like, he's making this country great again. And she's like ironing and she goes and she lifts it up and it's like a KKK hood.
Oh my God. So that's actually really funny.
This little like strikes at Trump.
Yeah. Which is easy to do right now because come on.
Yeah.
America, come on. Seriously? But
I heard this. Speaking of Trump, this guy wrote I think it was like an article, Frank something.
Okay.
And he wrote this article.
That narrows it down. Look it up, Frank something.
Well, it just happened like yesterday or the day before.
Okay.
He wrote this article or something about Trump. Destroyed it. It was like about all his history and everything. He destroyed.
Well, he's wildly,
and a lot of people are doing.
He's
that
wildly
to try
inconsistent
and,
with his
to
his
try and
success,
get people's eyes open about him,
right?
And be like, don't if he's nominated, just be careful. But anyways,
Ghostbusters. So yeah, it has nothing to do with the fact that they're women, but I agree with what you said. I mean, most of the jokes in there, like the thing with the wig, where she has the wig on. She's like, is it the wig or the hat, is the glasses, whatever? Where Kate McKinnon's like standing in that row with all those like mannequin heads. Yeah. That wasn't funny. The throw up the slime thing wasn't funny. Which we've seen that. That's a blatant reference to the beginning of the first one where that ghost in the library.
Yeah, I know.
And if you're gonna do little callbacks, that's fine. I get it. They all do that. That's but don't you're starting the trailer with we're gonna redo the first one. I'm like, you're starting the trailer with a scene that was the first scene in the first movie. Not smart, first of all, because I mean you're just telling us right off the bat we got nothing. Except
Is it gonna be an exact
Melissa
scene
McCarthy
for scene shot of the original Ghostbusters,
but with lady characters who are less interesting than the other characters from the first one? Exactly. Not because they're lady characters, but you can't. I just hope the movie.
I just hope have a Bill Murray. No one's Bill Murray but Bill Murray.
That's true.
You can't get another.
Even Bill Murray knows that. He's like, I don't want anybody to contact me. I'm fucking Bill Murray. You can't reach me. He doesn't even have like an email address. He doesn't have a computer. He has like a PO box that you send scripts to, and he'll read it if he wants.
Oh, really?
He'll get back to you if you. Yeah, he's notoriously hard to get a hold of. But I mean, yeah, that part where Melissa McCarthy's character is possessed and her like head spins around, and then Leslie Jones is smacking her. I mean, it's like, with the power of pain compels you. I'm like, that's not
funny.
That's not. Plus, we've seen that a million times. An Exorcist reference.
Yeah.
There's nothing new about it. She's like, that's going to leave a mark. And like, there were all these cliches throughout the whole trailer where I'm just like, oh my God, I really hope this is just badly edited or something. But holy shit.
And just being realistic, she would so be dead.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
But
it's a Ghostbuster movie. You can't be realistic.
The ghost can't break your neck and then put it back together. Even in Supernatural, they break your neck. You stay
dead.
You stay dead. I mean, once the demon goes out,
right.
The body form is dead. At least Supernatural is consistent. These people, they just killed Melissa McCarthy.
There is potential there for that. For the movie to be better than the actual trailer is. Not necessarily, because I've heard. I wasn't impressed with the trailer for Spy either, and that movie was really good, but that's R-rated, so you can't really show a lot of that. This is going to be PG-13, so it's like, what really good jokes are not in the trailer that they're saving?
But they didn't but in the Spy trailer, they didn't put cliche lines.
No, that's what I'm saying. If this is what you're cherry picking out of the film, you're a terrible cherry picker.
Yeah.
There was there was nothing in there. Some of the action stuff looks kind of interesting. Like, looks like there's ghosts overtaking New York at one point, similar to the end of the first one.
And then there was like a big guy that looked like
he was
that looked like those. I guess those that was
supposed to be like their version of
Stay Puft. Yeah.
Can't fuck with Stay Puft.
I know.
That rhymes too. I like it.
I know. All the people that grew up with it are gonna revolt against this movie. Because
I hope it's. And that's the thing. I want it to be good. I love Ghostbusters. I have the first two sitting over there. I have all the toys, like you said, growing up that I grew up with and stuff.
Say what you want about Ninja Turtles. The movie may have added Megan Fox.
I know. We know how you feel about that. Yeah.
And not focused on the turtles as much. But they didn't have as many cliche lines, and just completely. At least the turtles were good, You know what I mean? They didn't destroy the main part of the. I mean, they had an annoying part of the movie, but they didn't destroy the turtles. Like give them like weird voices
some people feel like they designed them really weird, and now they're scary monster turtles.
No, I mean they look
which is fine. But
they tweaked them a little bit.
And the second one also looks like they're focusing more on the turtles, and Megan Fox is barely in the trailer. Actually, she's just kind of there in a couple scenes. It's mostly the turtles. So I feel like she was their vehicle into the world of the turtles, and now she's going to be there, but like more in the background, which is what she should have been from the beginning. But I mean, with Ghostbusters, it's. I don't know. I'm gonna still.
You're not convinced yet.
No, I'm gonna reserve judgment until I actually, because of course I'm gonna see the movie, even whether it's bad or it's good. I'm still gonna see it, and then I'll be like, then I'll post a review and tell you if it's shitty or not, because I don't want to prejudge it.
Where are you gonna post the review?
Huh? On YouTube, on my Crooked Table YouTube page,
crookedtable.com,
crookedtable.com video tab. I might do. Maybe I'll do more than just a video. Maybe I'll do a written review as well. We'll see. But at this point, I'm not. I was already sort of nervous, cautious about the film, and now watching the trailer, I'm even more so.
Like maybe with the second trailer there, but
the Batman v Superman trailer that like ruined everything, and then Doomsday's at the end and all that wasn't particularly great. But then that next one came out, and you're like, holy fuck! I want to see that right now. Is it time? Can I go? Can I wait in line? That looked epic.
Sometimes I feel like trailers like
ruin things.
Well, definitely, and they kind of like it's a double-edged sword for the people that make the movies, because it totally ruins like you can find out if you like looked at the movie, you can know the whole plot of pretty much any movie trailer. You can know the movie.
Unless
there's like a huge...
Unless you have a really good marketing team behind it and they know how to give people enough. But keep going back to Star Wars because I have the poster sitting over here.
Yeah, Star Wars.
Star Wars did an excellent job with the trailer. We were like, I know these people are in it, but I don't know who the fuck they are or what's going on.
But Star Wars, they're in a league of their own because they know just by them putting their name Star Wars, that people are going to go see it. Because
Ghostbusters should know that too.
It's a continuation. Yeah,
because we know what ghosts do. People with proton packs shooting ghosts. It's not complicated.
Disney's got their game together better.
There's also,
is it Disney that puts the trailer together, or don't?
Well, this
do they
isn't
give
Disney.
it to a company
Ghostbusters isn't Disney. Ghostbusters I know,
is
Sony.
I know, but
Disney's trailers.
But is it the production company that puts the trailer together, or do they put it out to a trailer?
I think it's the marketing team for that specific production company. So the marketing team for Lucasfilm would be doing the Star Wars. The marketing team for Marvel Studios. Speaking of, the Captain America Civil War trailer is also really good in that it tells you there's this guy that you love, there's this other guy that you love. They're pissed about superhero accountability, whatever, something vague, and they're gonna fight and shit's gonna happen. That's all you know about. That's really all you know about the storyline in those movies.
Yeah,
and it involves Bucky somehow.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, I read more rumors and speculation and that kind of thing, but they don't tell you anything other than money shot of people like two teams facing each other.
I like Suicide Squad trailer too.
Oh my god, that second one? Yeah. Fucking awesome. With the Bohemian Rhapsody?
Yeah.
Fuck, I want to watch it now.
I don't think it ruined that much either.
No. Bad guys teaming up for something. We don't even know what their objective is.
But some trailers, like...
Most of them spoil.
They spoil like the whole movie, and you can like piece together the movie and just figure out the whole thing. Like, oh, okay.
Whenever Kai and I go see a movie together, and like there's always like one or two trailers before the movie where she's like, "They're just showing the whole movie." I'm like, "Yeah, pretty much." I like, why would they? I don't know. They think by telling you everything that happens that you're gonna want to see it. I'm like, but that kind of has the opposite effect. Yeah. I want to be teased. That's the whole point of
that's
the
double-edged sword.
Exactly. And the Ghostbuster trailer, they didn't show me anything to make me excited about it, and they didn't show me anything to make me think that it's aspiring to be anything more than just a cash in on the original films.
Exactly.
And not for nothing.
It's destroying it.
Not for nothing, but the whole diversity thing by having the ladies in the movie. If you're gonna do that, why do you have 3 white girls and 1 black? That's not really diversity. You should have had like a white girl and I remember when an Asian girl. I remember when the news came out about Paul Feig doing this Ghostbuster movie. It should be a
small world Ghostbusters.
that would be more interesting if you're gonna go that way. Might as well, right?
Yeah.
And it's not like there's a dearth of talent out there. Like if you're gonna pick 4 women for this, and Paul Feig is gonna do it, why are you putting Kristen Wiig, who he's worked with before in Bridesmaids, Melissa McCarthy, who he works with in every freaking movie, and then 2 people from SNL that most people don't really know? Mm-hmm. I mean, when all this was coming out about that this was going to happen, all females, Ghostbusters, etc., all of the casting speculation, I was like, oh snap, Anna Faris would be great for that. Emma Stone would be great for that. Mindy Kaling would be great for that. It's like, why are there, I don't know. I'm not also thrilled with the ladies they selected, because it seems like they're basically playing the kind of roles you would think that they would be playing.
Yeah.
But not fully formed characters, and I heard this on a recent YouTube video or podcast or whatever I watched or listened to, I don't remember at this point, where they were saying it's like you're basically getting, when the original movie came out, we don't even think of Bill Murray in that movie. I think of those characters, because those characters are so well defined and the story serves the characters, whereas in this one they're just like cookie cutter characters that are plopping into the Ghostbusters world.
Yeah.
Is what it feels like.
Yeah.
I didn't see Kristen Wiig or Melissa McCarthy do anything that I haven't seen them do in other movies, is my point. So, I still want it to be good, but I'm not particularly hopeful. Hopefully they'll drop a new trailer in a month or 2, and then everybody will be like, oh shit, maybe we were wrong about this. But we'll see. Not excited at the moment, but gonna see it anyway. Gonna see it anyway. I'm not particularly enthused about Independence Day either, just because it's just like... But at least
I'm more excited about it in Independence Day than anything else.
Yeah, because why? Because it's acknowledging the other movie.
It does ruin lots of the movie.
Independence Day Resurgence?
Yeah, I
Did you do frame by frame analysis thing?
No, but just by like where you can just pick by like where settings are. You're like, oh, that was mainly the whole point of like why I was talking about it, because I saw that trailer when I went to see London Has Fallen the other day. And I was like, okay, so this is going to happen in this order.
Has there been a second
trailer?
This
is going to happen, and this is probably going to happen here, and then they're going to go on the moon, and then this person's going to... And then
Jeff Goldblum's probably going to die. Some of these original people are probably going to die in it.
Yeah,
That's what you're surmising?
I don't want to confirm anything.
You're speculating that at least some of the original people will not make it.
I have confirmed... Well, not confirmed, but I think 2 people are going to die.
Of the original
cast.
Can I
guess? At least. Yes.
Jeff Goldblum?
No.
Okay, good. Bill Pullman, probably.
Yes.
Judd Hirsch? I don't know.
Who's Judd Hirsch?
Jeff Goldblum's dad?
No.
So who's the other one? Vivica Fox?
No.
Oh, okay. I don't care about her that much anyway. Okay, who's the other one then? Who is it? I
don't even know his name, but I know he's in the first one.
Okay.
It's he's like one of the army people.
Which army people are back for this?
I don't know. I have to go on IMDb. Okay. I have to go on IMDb.
Well, describe his role in the first one, because I've seen that first one like a bazillion times.
He's in the army. That's all I can say about it, because I don't.
Wow, helpful.
I just know I just know he's in the first one. And so, will you know his name if I bring it up?
Yeah, probably. But I don't think there's any army people from the first one that are in the second one that I'm aware of, unless you're thinking somebody in the
William Fichtner.
He wasn't in the first one.
Yeah, he was.
No, he wasn't.
I thought I saw him in the first one.
You're thinking of Armageddon now, because he was in Armageddon. He was in that.
Oh,
that's
Moon, the moon guy.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, he was in Armageddon. Are you sure he wasn't in Independence Day?
Yeah, he wasn't. He wasn't in Independence Day.
I'm gonna go through his.
He was in The Dark Knight. He was the one that.
I know. I saw that. That's one of his.
You
top
and your
ones.
friends are dead. In the bank.
Yeah,
that great scene in the bank.
Manager.
Oh man, I want to watch that now too.
Yeah, Jesus. That's a good movie.
I have the poster right there. That's one of my top 10 for 20. I don't even know. It's up there.
Who knows though? Ben Affleck might be your next new Batman. Your next favorite
he is going to
Batman.
be my next Batman. I don't
know. Well,
your next
favorite Batman.
Well, I was actually behind that casting way before everybody else was.
Yeah, because a lot of people they have like
it's not his fault.
They don't
I feel like we talked about this last
reason.
time. We he wasn't his fault. Daredevil was a mess. That was just a shitty movie. So I don't know.
He wasn't in it.
I wouldn't hold it against. See, I told you William Fichtner wasn't in it.
I thought he was in it.
So Ghostbusters.
I think he's gonna die.
Okay. He didn't die in Armageddon, so he's due, I guess.
Spoilers
for Armageddon. Bruce Willis dies too.
For
Spoilers.
Independence Day, I mean.
Oh. So that was Ghostbusters. Oh, some more news we had to touch on. What? We were just talking about this. J.K. Simmons has been cast, and it's funny because we're talking about Batman.
Oh, yeah.
J.K. Simmons has joined the cast of Justice League as Commissioner Gordon, which that's really good casting, even though I know a lot of people were hoping Bryan Cranston would get that.
Bryan Cranston
he would have been great too, but they went from Bryan Cranston, Oscar nominee, to Oscar winner J.K. Simmons, so hey, you can't really argue with that. That's not that bad of a move either. Yeah,
that's true, but I want to be J. Jonah Jameson.
I know.
I want Bryan Cranston. I would love Bryan Cranston to be in a superhero movie. That'd be amazing.
I know.
If he,
well, some people wonder how big of a part he's going to have in there. Jake, how big a role is Commissioner Gordon going to have in Justice League? Really, if Justice League's going to be Darkseid, I mean, what is he going to have, like a cameo to then set up his appearance in a full-length Batman movie after that?
Yeah, I don't,
because I don't think you would cast.
It might be a couple scenes. I don't see it would be
right. I know, maybe
because there's so many. They're gonna have so many characters.
You would think he would show up in Suicide Squad or Batman v Superman or something, because there's gonna be more Batman like Earthbound threat.
Yeah.
As opposed to we're in space and shit.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, we'll see. Hopefully they don't. Unless you're Terminator Genesis, you don't get J.K. Simmons to be like in a nothing part.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that movie kind of wasted it. He was in a couple scenes like, there's fucking robots in here. And then that was about it. And then
which movie?
Terminator Genesis.
Oh, yeah.
He was like remember the young cop they run into? He's like the older version of that cop, like in time travel. And he's like, I saw you guys like 20 years ago. Like, you look the same. That was a cool like moment. But, So yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see what they do with him. It's still unclear if the Batman movie that they do after Batman movie is going to be after Justice League. They haven't announced the date yet. They haven't announced a release date for that Batman movie.
I think it is going to be. I think they want to go right into Justice League.
Yeah. Well, Wonder Woman comes out next year, and then Justice League. I don't know if Justice League is next year or 2018. But I mean, I think they're kind of loaded up already. Yeah. I'm sure maybe in between Justice League Part 1 and 2, they'll try and squeeze a Batman movie in there somewhere.
So there's going to be 2 parts of Justice League?
Yeah, they've already announced release dates for movies up to 2020. We have Cyborg and Aquaman and Green Lantern Corps, which is like the last one.
Yeah.
Shazam, I think we even have a release date for that.
There's no confirmed for Green Lantern just because that's so far away.
Yeah, they're not bringing him in, they revealed, until probably Justice League Part 2. I mean, I maybe post-credit scene Justice League Part 1, they'll be like, hey, there's this guy.
And they're not going to do Martian Manhunter, probably, right?
Not yet. I don't think they... I mean, they have to... I think Warner Brothers is trying to be very careful because they need this one to work.
So they don't want to put too much too fast.
Right, and they're already introducing Batman, but Batman, Wonder Woman in this one in a big way, and then kind of teasing towards Flash, Cyborg, and Aquaman. So I don't think they're like, now Green Lantern and Green Arrow and Martian Manhunter and blah, 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 you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Once they lay this foundation, it's sort of like think Marvel Phase 1.
Uh-huh.
They introduce Cap, they introduce Iron Man, they introduce Hulk and Thor. And then from there out, they've been like, here's Falcon, here's War Machine, here's, Vision and Scarlet Witch and Ant-Man, and now they have like enough to do a Civil War where there's like 15 fucking heroes running around.
Yeah, exactly. And then they're gonna have Wasp soon.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see, but I hope that J.K. Simmons has a big role to play in the future of the DC cinematic universe.
Uh-huh.
People are speculating whether or not the Batman movie will be a prequel to sort of establish some of the stuff that happened with him before him crossing paths with Superman. I kind of like that idea, especially since I think the Wonder Woman
you think they'll show like the Robin thing then?
Maybe, yeah, that's what people are speculating.
Like toward the end,
or something. Maybe him, the follow up of that. I'm not sure. And then I think the Wonder Woman movie is going to be a prequel as well. Like it starts with her like in the 20s, and then because she doesn't age.
Yeah.
So maybe end with her in modern times. Maybe even getting some maybe if you do like the Captain America style where it's a period piece and then it ends with that person catching up with the rest of the people. Maybe have it end with her coming to Earth in modern times and seeing like a newspaper about Superman and be like, oh shit. And then that's way Batman v Superman when she shows up. She's also sort of leery on this guy and his powers.
Uh-huh.
Sort of like, so her and Batman kind of come to Superman like separately.
Yeah.
That would be cool. So then you have Man of Steel, you have Batman solo movie, you have Wonder Woman solo movie, and then Batman v Superman sort of is like the convergence of the big three, the Trinity. Yeah. That could be a cool way of doing it. Maybe that's where they're gonna go.
Is that March 25th?
Yeah.
Batman v Superman.
We still need to do March 18th. We're gonna try and catch up and watch Daredevil v Punisher, I guess, which is what we're gonna call it. And then we'll do a podcast about that. So stay tuned for that. And then
you should catch up with The Walking Dead so we could talk about some of this stuff.
Yeah, I'll catch up with the 6 seasons or however many there are.
Hey, once you get into it, I'm sure you'll fly through those 6 seasons.
Once you catch up with Gotham, you're already like halfway the first season or something.
I only have 2 episodes to catch up.
Oh, you've seen all of season 1? And all of season 2 up to now?
I watched all of it before you.
Oh, that's true, you did, but I didn't know if you were like keeping up with it. That's the only show I really watched.
I only missed Mr. Freeze.
You can read my review at screenrant.com for the Gotham episodes.
I only missed the last 2.
Yeah, you need to get up on it
since they've been back.
They've been developing that Mr. Freeze story like a bitch.
Really? Is it good?
I mean, I think it's interesting, and it's some people don't like Gotham because they're doing their own thing with the Batman mythology, and they're like they're bastardizing the comics. I'm like, it's not the comics, dude. Smallville wasn't the comics either. You look at Smallville,
comics change the comics all the time.
Yeah, I mean, what the fuck does that mean?
It could be an alternate universe of the comics.
Look at Batman 1989. Look at Batman Begins. Look at Batman v Superman. Those are 3. Look at Batman 66. There's TV of Adam West. Those are 4 vastly different versions of Batman. All valid. All still Batman. Take it easy.
Exactly.
Don't be like, this is not how it's supposed to be. People have issues with that. I don't understand.
No.
It's not existing with the movies. It's its own thing. Just enjoy it for what it is.
How badass is Alfred, though?
Oh, on the show, Alfred's great. I like
Alfred. Oh, my God.
He doesn't get enough to do sometimes. Like, most episodes, he's just like, Master Bruce. And then every once in a while, he kicks ass.
When he does step up, though, he's like, oh, come on, you're awesome.
Yeah.
I like that Alfred the most out of any Alfred.
Well, the new one,
even the Caine Alfred,
Michael Caine.
Yeah, Michael Caine.
Well, Michael Caine's character, he references like I was in the army. My friends, all this stuff. He had like a history in the military.
Yeah.
And that kind of.
But this Alfred looks like he could kick ass.
Yeah,
you know
yeah. Well, Michael Caine
even the one in Batman v Superman looked like he could kick ass.
Well, because some versions of the comic, he was like a former spy and shit like that. Alfred. Yeah. So I think the Jeremy Irons version in Batman v Superman's because you see he's not like.
So he might be.
He's not waiting in the Batcave being like, I made a sandwich for you.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like flying like in the beginning of the trailer.
Let me put some ice packs on your back.
Yeah, can I get you some ointment for that? That's the old 90s.
You want some Ben Gay?
Like, Alfred, are you hitting on me? Depends what your reaction is. No, but like in the Batman v Superman trailer, you see him he's flying the plane that drops Batman off when he comes into that action sequence.
Yeah.
He's like, there's this many people on the second floor, I'll drop you off on the third. And he's like, pfft. Or no, the other way, third, and he comes in through the floor.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he's like an active part of it, which is interesting to see. And they're building towards that similar relationship on Gotham, because you see in the last night's episode, not much of a spoiler, there's a part where Alfred's like, are we in this together or not? And then he's like, yes we are, or whatever. And they have like, because he still wants to find his parents' killer and all that.
Oh, Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, Bruce does. So they're developing that partnership between Bruce and Alfred, which it makes sense.
And he's been training him and doing all this stuff.
Right.
And I like how they brought Lucius into it too. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So I like the whole storyline with Theo. I thought that was.
Well, yeah. We keep watching.
Keep watching. It gets better.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Is it spoiler if I tell you that storyline might not be 100% over?
No, I figured it wouldn't be.
Okay.
I figured it wouldn't be because they want to carry. I would figure they would carry it out through the whole season.
Well, this season, because
they're focusing on
the last couple episodes are really dealing heavily with Mr. Freeze, obviously.
Yeah.
And then Hugo Strange, who they introduced in the same episode. Who? You know who Hugo Strange is, right?
He sounds familiar.
Glasses, got like a little goatee. He's
yeah.
Usually bald-headed. He's a
bad guy, right?
Psychologist.
Yeah.
At Arkham, and I think at least on the show he's at Arkham.
But what's like his? Does he have like what does he do? Is he he's just
super
very smart? Okay.
Yeah, he's in the Arkham games.
I knew he was in I knew he was a part of Arkham, but I didn't know like
he hasn't been in the movies yet.
His like if he has like a power or if he has,
I don't think
like,
so.
Any of that stuff.
No, he hasn't been in any of the movies yet. Although there's so many, I really hope. And this is getting away from Gotham for a second. I really hope that when we get a standalone Batman movie with Ben Affleck, I really hope they bring in Red Hood, they bring in Hugo Strange, they bring in because we don't. Yes, we all know Joker and Two-Face and stuff. Joker's around, but we don't need like. You need to give Joker. I mean,
a break a little bit.
Not like a break, like he's gone, but like references to him, but keep other people in the mix. Like that's why I'm so excited with Suicide Squad that they're bringing in Killer Croc, they're bringing in Deadshot, they're bringing in Harley Quinn, and some other people that are probably going to die. But Captain Boomerang. I mean, I don't think he's going to be a long-standing DC villain. But yeah, Hugo Strange is one of those interesting ones, and they're trying. He's becoming more and more. He's coming more and more to the forefront of the Batman media stuff because of the games, probably mostly.
Yeah.
So the storyline's really focusing on Mr. Freeze and Hugo Strange, and Hugo Strange is sort of turning into, and I just wrote this in my review earlier today. He's really turning out to be sort of the puppet master of the second half of the season.
Oh, really?
But watch the new episode
because that's been
a couple episodes, and then. You'll see
that's been the whole thing has been
because the first half was all
the bad guys just coming together.
Yeah, and they've been doing because I mean, just in this season you've had
it's insane.
What is that lady with the?
I thought they'd like run out of material, but they just keep.
Oh well, there's so many villains. Batman has probably the richest rogues gallery of villains of any comic book hero in like history.
Yeah,
Granted, all these, Iron Man and them, they have a million villains too, but a lot of them are like, you can't really bring them to the screen because they'll look fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
But and Batman's characters too sometimes, but if you adapt it slightly and kind of tweak it to make it work, it's amazing on screen. And Batman and Spider-Man have like the most incredible villains. But I mean, just in this season, you have a sort of version of the Joker, you have... Hugo Strange, Mr. Freeze, the young woman with the starting fire, I think it was Firefly or something is her name in the comics. Plus, plus you still have Riddler and Two-Face and all of them sort of running around like building up like that Riddler guy.
I know he's so good.
He's
such a good actor.
He's officially the last couple episodes of season 1, and then like especially towards the end of mid-season 2, he was turning a corner where he was like, I'm just gonna go out here and kill people just because I like it. It's fun. That's basically where he's at.
And it's
but he just hasn't
such good acting from that from him.
Corey Michael Smith.
Yeah, he's such a good actor.
And he's
bringing that insanity without it being like absurd and ridiculous. It's very hard to do
or
that.
too campy, like Jim Carrey style, which worked for that movie, but like that performance style wouldn't work here. Much.
I was upset when they killed off that Joker,
Jerome.
The Joker that we thought was going to be.
Keep watching.
But anyways, I thought he was such a good actor though.
Yeah.
He did such a
He
good
was
job.
over the top and campy, but he's supposed to be because he's
oh my god,
a Joker version.
I know, but
he's supposed to be like Joker, but he did a great.
He did such a good job.
He was very theatrical, which is his thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, with the Riddler, and he hasn't been exposed yet. Remember, he's still working at the GCPD. Like, oh, can I help you with that? Lieutenant Gordon, whatever.
Yeah.
He's still just like on the DL about the fact that he's evil, and I have a feeling by the end of the season we'll see him in some kind of green suit.
That'd be cool.
I think they're building to that point. There are a lot of interesting things happening. We can't really get into details because you haven't seen them, but with Penguin and the fallout from the Galavan thing.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. Some people think that season 2 has been a step.
Maroni died, right?
Maroney. Which one was Maroney? I forget. I got them mixed up.
The Italian guy.
No, I think he left town. What's the
one that
other
kidnapped
one?
his?
No. Maroney died. Got shot by Fish Mooney. Killed him at the end of season 1.
Yes.
And Falcone is the one that left town. I got those two guys confused.
Falcone
left.
Yeah,
Gotham.
I thought Maroney.
He's Maroon
because I'm thinking of Fish Mooney.
Oh yeah.
I thought Maroney got shot
by
Fish Mooney, and then he threw her off, and I don't think that she's dead, but we'll see.
I'm just gonna say, keep watching because multiple things are on the table right now. Where the show's going.
It seems like it's heading somewhere.
See, when you see the next couple episodes, the very end of the most recent episode, pay attention to that because they're basically being like, guess what? Shit's going down. I'm not going to get into details because I don't want to spoil it for you or people listening, but
it's just over the hump of the season, too.
Yeah,
that's the beautiful thing about it.
That mid-season finale felt like a season finale.
Exactly. They all feel like there's been several episodes where I'm being like, this is so great. It seems like this could have been a finale.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because they're so early in the... because they're so early, they're not like season 4 or something.
Right.
So you would think like still doing like baby steps.
It's an interesting evolution because season 1 was really like, here's Gordon, here's Bruce. They're dealing with their own inner demons and all that, and then
random,
the whole
like, cases
meanwhile the whole gangland thing was taking place. And season 1 was really about Fish Mooney, Maroney, Falcone, and then Penguin using the three of them against each other.
Which was so awesome.
Which was really fun to watch. Yeah. To emerge as the king of Gotham and stuff. Yeah. And then season 2 has been like, all right, next step, we're going to bring in all the villains that you know and sort of show you little bits and pieces of their origin stories. So it'll be interesting to see now when that's done in season 2, like where they're going to go with season 3. I would like them to focus more on Bruce Wayne and more on him training and developing and maybe even flirting with crime fighting a little bit, but not really. Like kind of beta Batman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know how they did? I mean, Gotham's taken a very Smallville approach to Batman's story. How Smallville started and he barely knew he had powers and he's in high school and shit like that. And
I would love to see him actually like grow up eventually to be Batman.
That's what I'm saying.
And then actually be Batman on the show.
I don't know if that. Well, they've said that that's going to be like the last scene of the last episode, sort of like Smallville. Barely, we didn't really see him in the costume at all.
Yeah.
But along the way, by the time you got to like season 8 and 9 of Smallville, he was running around, working at the Daily Planet, in a relationship with Lois, solving crime, had a costume, just didn't fucking fly and didn't call himself Superman yet.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, we need to see Bruce start to... And we were already seeing, like, the last couple episodes, like that thing, and this is not a spoiler because you've seen this part, where he tricked Silver into revealing that information. Yeah. You're seeing a little bit of, like, oh, this motherfucker is like, kind of devious and, like, manipulative and like compromising his moral code a little to get where he needs to be. He's learning to be duplicitous. a little bit more and kind of have two sides to him where he's like, oh, I'm one way with people, but then behind the scenes, I'm like, I'm going to kick some ass.
Exactly.
Which is the basis of Batman, that dual identity. And this most recent episode, there's a really blatant scene where that continues to develop between him and Leslie, where they're having a conversation. And holy crap! I mean, I really like that young actor. So some people I've seen, because I do read the comments when people comment on my review on Screen Rant.
Yeah.
Some people wanted the show to just jump ahead and be like, just do Batman Year 1 next year or whatever. And I'm like, well, you can't really jump ahead because then you have to recast Bruce and all that. And I like this actor.
Yeah, I like him.
But there's no way, there's no reason they can't have like year -3 or 4 and sort of lead up to Year 1. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a way of doing progress of his road towards becoming Batman without having him be Batman.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? And that actor, I believe when the show started, Bruce Wayne was supposed to be 12. That actor is like 15 now. So, I mean, a year or two, you could fucking have him in, high school or almost. If you really wanted, you could actually probably jump ahead and keep that same actor and have him be like in the college year.
Then
have him deal with, training and shit.
Yeah, because he's already like when they have like their breaks and everything,
right.
He's still growing, so they can skip a length of time.
Yeah.
And still be like, he's like in high school now, or like getting out of high school, whatever.
There are ways to do it, but I just don't want them to jump ahead where they have to recast Bruce because I like this kid and I want them to keep him on.
Yeah.
Throughout. Plus, there's ways of making kids look older. The girl that plays Selena Kyle, looks like she's 25. She's fucking 16 or something.
I know.
That's craziness.
I was very surprised.
Like, part of why I'm like, she's kind of attractive. I feel like I should look this up. And I was like, no, she's not attractive. She's cool. A good actress. It's one of those moments.
Yeah, exactly.
And I like her a lot. I think she looks enough like Michelle Pfeiffer that it makes you feel like, it makes you think of that she looks like Catwoman to you in your mind. But she brings her own spunk and her own like personality to it, and it's cool because she's a bad character sort of. But she works with the good guys most of the time, which is how Catwoman's supposed to be, sort of a flip-flopper.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the Venom.
Yeah, sort of. Oh, that's another thing we could mention. That just came. Sony's officially moving forward on the Venom movie again.
Yay.
So, it's supposedly not going to be tied to Spider-Man just yet.
Rated R?
I don't know about that.
It should be good.
I mean, I'd like to see that. I mean, Deadpool is essentially the X-Men Fox equivalent of Venom. He's like good, bad, sort of aligned with the team, sort of not really.
Yeah, exactly. He kind of just does his own thing.
But it doesn't sound like it's going to spin off of Spider-Man. I think they're just going to do Venom as his own thing, and then maybe if that does well, then bring it into the Spider-Man movies that they're going to do.
They can have even a team up,
right?
Spider-Man and Venom, and they fight
easily.
Not like fight each other, but like fight up with each other. Yeah. That would be cool.
Well, we'll see. I mean, you could do a movie or 2 or 3 about just Venom with Carnage and like the symbiote stuff.
Yeah. And
developing that, maybe even building up to a Sinister Six scenario. That movie was in development years ago, and that
you can even make it like a space type movie because it comes from space.
Yeah. Well, some versions of Venom isn't like an astronaut.
Yeah, he's an astronaut. That
not Eddie Brock. Like I feel like
it's J. Jonah Jameson's son.
He becomes another character.
He becomes like a wolf or something later.
I forget his character's
name,
but
he brings back the symbiote with him, I think.
Right.
And that's how the symbiote goes on. So I guess you couldn't really do it in space. But
Venom deserves redemption. He's a great character, and then in Spider-Man 3, they fucked him up royal.
Yeah, he did.
And just like Deadpool got fucked up in X-Men Origins, so it's like, hey, let's take this character and make it work. So we'll see. But I'm interested in that. Well, we should have a more in-depth Gotham conversation. Going back to that for a second. Once you catch up, maybe next podcast we'll do. Make sure you're caught up with all the episodes that aired, and we'll get into a little more on Gotham.
Yeah, because it's
the only show I'm really following because I love Batman and because I write reviews of it, so I might as well.
I've been watching Walking Dead consistently.
Yeah. Well, I know, but that's your favorite show on TV right now.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I watch a lot of TV shows, but yeah, I would put that up there with the one that I watch that's on cable television, and not on Netflix. then yeah, that would probably be my
shit,
one.
I have like a week.
Netflix, though, that's a whole other...
You just reminded me I have like a week to watch the last half of Jessica Jones, because I don't want to be like behind on Jessica Jones and then also on Daredevil season 2. That's going to be a mess. So I'll have to like marathon that one of these days. But,
it gets really good toward the end.
Yeah, no, I've heard things about it, but I'm trying to forget it so that I don't spoil it for myself.
And I love Kilgrave.
Yeah.
Kilgrave is awesome.
We'll see.
All right.
Anything else?
No, I think that's it.
All right, I think we're spent. We're just like talking about random stuff now.
Yeah.
So you go. So you can find me on Twitter at Crooked Table.
And you can find me on Twitter at Freddy with a Y _ Yaniz, YANIZ.
Visit crookedtable.com for more videos, podcasts, reviews, other assorted articles. Find us on Facebook. Find us on YouTube. Search Crooked Table, and as Freddie mentioned, we have a bunch of videos on there. I'm gonna be trying to put up a new video every week, and I have a new idea for a series of videos that I want to do. So keep a lookout on that. It's kind of developing our Twitter. I'm confused. I'm developing our YouTube presence, and I'm trying to be more consistent with that. So, let me know what you think. Let me know what you want to hear us talk about on the podcast, or what you want me to hear me talk about on the videos, and give us some feedback so we can make sure we're pleasing our audience. Anything else? That's it?
Nope.
All right. That's the Crooked Table podcast. Stay tuned for the encore after the credits, and why don't we go ahead and roll those credits.
This is our encore segment. Should I go first?
Yes, go ahead.
All right.
You went first last time. It made me look bad, but
I have a few things.
Okay.
Because I talk about like Trump a lot. This podcast.
You're a big fan?
Podcast.
You're a big fan, I get it.
No. Well, there's a few like funny videos that have come out about Trump.
Uh-huh.
And one of them, movie related, of course. Naturally. And one of them was set to Back to the Future, and it's Marty McFly.
Oh, I've seen this one.
Yeah, it's one where he goes and he's like the president.
Yeah,
and he admits, and it shows like different videos of him, and it has, instead of like Biff's face, it's like Donald Trump's face,
which makes sense because that was a casino, which is what Trump's in.
Exactly, the Trump casino and everything, and then he goes like no, like that. So that's one video.
Yeah, that's a great one.
And then the other Trump video that's funny that I saw is the Star Wars one.
Oh shit! Now I need to watch that.
And it's the scene where
spoilers for which Star Wars?
The original.
Oh, the original. Oh, no spoilers for that. If you're listening to this and you haven't seen Star Wars, the fuck?
Spoiler: Darth Vader is Luke's father.
Was it what?
And so when he says like, oh, I'm, that scene where he says, oh, I'm your father. Well, anyways, it shows like clips of like, Donald Trump being admitted as president, and it shows like Luke Skywalker's like, no, it's not true. It can't be. It's impossible.
That's pretty good, Luke Skywalker.
Like that of like showing Donald Trump being admitted, going back and forth, of course, between the clips of him and everything, and then instead of like. And then he just releases himself and he decides to kill himself at the end.
He's like,
He's like,
I'd rather not be a part of this world.
I'd rather not be a part of this world. So he goes and he lets go. And you know how he gets in that chamber in Star Wars? Well, it just shows him like he's just deciding like, I'm going to commit suicide. I'm going to die.
They cut it off before he falls into the thing.
Yeah, exactly. So you just like, see him like falling like, ah! That's one awesome. Funny video. And then there's this has been out for a while, and I don't know if you've seen it, but you said that you saw the Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon thing.
Yeah, the movie.
And what do you think of that, by the way?
It was okay. Some of the fight scenes were cool. It's to me, it was very much a standard, sort of how you felt about London Has Fallen. Like it's entertaining enough to watch. but it had a very standard sort of action movie feel to me. Like the first one has so much heart and soul, and like the music's amazing, and the performances, and the love story, and the characters are so rich. This one didn't have really any of that. There was only one major returning character from the original cast. They shot it in English for some reason, which to me kind of ruins the mystique of it all.
Yeah.
And makes it feel even more.
We'll go into this more.
It makes it feel like even more of a blatant cash-in. So,
we'll go into this more.
Well, that's not going to be my encore. I'm not going to recommend it.
No. But,
another time.
We'll go into it. We'll do like a...
You asked. Don't ask me.
We might do... Well, I don't want you... But I want to save this because I think maybe we could do a podcast and it'll be like all Netflix original movies, like
I haven't seen that. I've seen parts of it.
I know, like I haven't seen either of them yet.
Okay.
Beast of No Nation, The Crouching Tiger. I think there's like 3 other ones I wanted to see.
We could throw those onto our Daredevil.
I think there's one with like Tom Hiddleston coming in on there too.
We could throw those onto our Daredevil season 2 conversation if you want.
Again, don't quote me on this.
You heard me?
What?
We could throw those onto our Daredevil season 2 conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
And have talk about that
it's
stuff.
It's all Netflix.
Yeah. Be like Netflix.
Netflix in your face. That'll be the name of it or something.
Netflix and chill. But not like in the sexy way.
Netflix, Two dudes Netflix and chill.
I'll come up with a some kind of play on Netflix and chill, and that'll be the name of the episode.
Okay.
There you go.
Well, the one that I saw this, and it's like I think it's like an hour long. But it's kind of like off of like their Marco Polo thing, 100 Eyes, and it kind of has like Crouching Tiger, like elements to it, like original.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good. It's only like an hour, and I wanted to see Marco Polo when I saw it because I was like, wow, I thought it was about the like Marco Polo, like the traveler, right?
Yeah.
Is it not?
I don't know. I haven't watched it.
Well, it doesn't seem like it because this guy's like doing all these amazing stunts and everything, and there are incredible action sequences. I was very surprised by it.
Maybe it's like Spartacus. It's like it's sort of based on real things, but it makes it like awesome. Or 300.
Maybe, I don't know.
300 was like the Spartan.
But it had like Asian elements to it. I didn't think, Anyways, you should see it.
Okay.
So,
cool.
So that's my double encore.
Nice. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and recommend a YouTube channel. Not that anybody needs me to really recommend it because it does very well on YouTube. But if you're not a YouTube person, if you're listening to podcasts, you're probably into YouTube too. But if you're not, I would highly recommend Chris Stuckman's YouTube channel. He's actually one of those movie critics that sort of does like regular movie reviews and like retro. He does a new thing called Retro Rewind that he does, kind of referencing back something he grew up with and talking about it. And he did Tremors recently. He did the Superman Nintendo 64 game. He does hilariosity reviews about movies that are like so bad that they're like hilarious and atrocious. So hilariosity.
Yeah.
And he's been he's been one of those people doing it on YouTube that's really been sort of an inspiration for me to be like, fuck, I should get into YouTube. I like talking about movies.
Yeah.
And, maybe people will watch it. And maybe not. If maybe not, who cares? I enjoy doing it. And, maybe that's something to get into, especially since everything now is moving so much towards video content. It's a lot more towards audio and video content and not so much with the written. So I'm like, well, crookedtable.com could use a mixture of all of it. We already do podcasts. I already do articles. So might as well... add a video element to it. Yeah. So and there's a few of them that I subscribe to on YouTube. He's probably the one that I think probably does it the best and probably has a style that's most appealing to me because he presents it in a way that's very true to his personality, but also with a light tone and makes it entertaining without being too crazy and animated and without being too dry and analytical enough that it sheds light on the movies.
Doesn't seem like he's nitpicking.
Yeah, exactly. But you can tell also that he has like a real knowledge of film and of the art behind it and the skill that it takes to make films. Actually, he's recently just published a book. He said on one of his YouTube videos a while back that a publishing house reached out to him about writing a book. They wanted somebody to write a book called The Film Buff's Bucket List.
Oh, okay.
And they wanted him to do it because he's got like 500,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah.
So
I feel
that's
a
why
lot of
he's
people
a writer.
are doing that. A lot of YouTubers are doing that, writing books now.
Yeah. So they reached out to him directly, I guess.
Yeah.
And he's been wanting to write a book forever. He's also a writer. He says he wants to put out a fiction book next, that kind of thing. So also that's another reason I'm like, I feel a kinship with this guy and his style. It's like I kind of look up to what he's been doing in a lot of ways. Yeah. And so he's got that book that just came out that I haven't gotten yet, but I want to get my hands on it. That's basically focusing on 50 must-see films from the 2000s. And I saw him he posted on his Facebook and Twitter a local news bit that he did on his local news channel. And he referenced some of his favorite movies of the 2000s, like Collateral and 500 Days of Summer, both of which I love. So I'm really looking forward to reading that book and kind of getting a little more insight into his perspective on movies and trying to see like how it matches up with mine, because it seems like he and I have similar taste in film. Yeah. And he does, and he just delivers consistent quality content, and he's been really successful at it. So that's sort of nice to see someone that has a genuine passion for movies actually making a career out of it. Yeah, exactly. So I definitely, if people haven't checked him out on YouTube, definitely check him out. His name is Chris Stuckman, and that's stuck like you'd think, MANN. So check him out and give him some love and tell him that you heard about him from here. If you're like one of the 3 people that don't know about him yet. So I definitely recommend it to everybody listening. Especially if you're into geeky stuff like we are. He's been doing a lot of, like, he's doing a review of Spider-Man films leading up to Civil War. Oh, cool. So definitely check that out. Sweet. All right. I think that'll be it for now. All right. Catch you guys next time. See you next time. See you now or see you at another time. That's from I Love You, Man. It is. I love that film. Yeah, I love that film. All right. Bye.
This has been a production of crookedtable.com. All rights reserved.
CROOKED.